Hello, everybody. Welcome to Word of Action. And this is where you can find the words of any and everything that's going on.
There we go. Now I can see. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Cool. You laughing at my old man glasses, Bruce? And yes, I'm about to eat again, but I haven't eaten most of the day. I can't help that.
You could help that.
So says Mr. Money over there.
Got all the money.
You should have been buying me burgers earlier. What's up with that?
Funny thing is, I had this in my drawer and I opened it up. And I thought I seen money for real.
He got all happy, huh?
So, what's the topic here today?
Well, Bruce presented me with something earlier and asked my opinion of it, but I didn't know if he wanted to just get into a discussion tonight about it. But I know that we was talking a lot last time about the iPhone and the Android and everything. I don't know. Did we ever get any feedback on that, Bruce? Did we ever get any comments?
On the iPhone?
You know, in the comment section, did anybody respond to that? Did anybody see that?
You know what? I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. Now go ahead and talk. I'm gonna bring it up. All right.
All right.
Make sure get it. Get it.
Because you got an Android too, don't you, Corey? And Bruce has got an Android. I used to have an Android. We could have been the Android brothers, but no, I had to go get an iPhone.
You had to be the iPhone, huh?
So what else is new?
So at this point, do we have any subscribers?
Hold on, let me adjust my volume because I can hardly hear you, Corey. Say that again.
Do we have any subscribers?
Well, I was talking to my sister today, and I told her to subscribe.
Okay.
So that's one more, right?
Yeah.
One more than before is still one more. I was just sending her a text telling her, yeah, we're going live right now.
Shouldn't screen show us if there's any subscribers or if anybody online.
Well, Bruce is working on that right now. So I can share everything, right, Bruce?
Yeah, I'm gonna share what's up, what we got.
You all right, Bruce? You look a little tired.
Oh, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on for a second. Yeah, y'all keep talking. I'm gonna take myself off for a minute.
All right. Did Bruce send you, Corey, the thing that he sent to me and asked your opinion about it? There was a lady talking.
Yeah, but I didn't get a chance to check it out.
Okay. Her point of view is kind of interesting, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it without hearing more information about what she was talking about. It was about race and the way we've been treated over the years and her point of view on it. And there were some things in there that I can't really comment on because of the fact that I don't have enough information about it. You know?
Different people have different ideas on racism and say like racism and being racist. Is that a hate among certain type of people? Is that directed at certain type of people?
Right.
I mean, because heard people say that black person can be racist, which I disagree with that.
Yeah, anybody can be a racist.
Because of being racist is having hate towards a certain type of people or race that can be done by anybody. There's some people that hate their own race.
Yeah. But what people don't realize, I think, and this is going to sound a little strange, is that people, you're born, everybody is born as a part of survival to notice differences. Your brain is just developed like that. That's how mankind, all of man is, to notice the difference between anything, this and that. So what you have to learn to do is learn to notice those differences, but know what to do in response to that. Not just go with, oh, this bad, that good, or just come up with some sort of thing and just go with whatever your gut tells you. You have to learn how to go ahead and say, hey, I saw somebody and they were doing this and they were doing that, rather than say, hey, some black guy was doing this, therefore he's bad. Because if somebody different race were doing it, they might not say that. But your brain is what you do and what you allow yourself to think. That's what changes everything.
Well, yeah, that's kind of more like a stereotyping. The stereotyping a racial thing.
Yeah, because you don't want to keep doing that. Because when you do that, you train your brain to automatically think like that. Then everything you do every day, you start treating other people that way. You train them to behave like that. Inadvertently, not even intentionally.
That's how negativity gets spread. Somebody can express themselves about a person, whether it's race or not, and that'll go into your mind, and your mind make a decision to believe it or not. So all these people that are racist and they have these different rallies and building up hate, they only can get to the people that's weak. If your mind is weak, it's able to believe anything.
Right.
So,
And see, the thing is that, all races are susceptible to that. Doesn't matter what race you come from, you're susceptible to behaving that way. But the reality of things are, because of communication, because of how much technology there is,
lack
in
of
another
balance.
few thousand years, races are going to be so blended together. Nobody's there. There isn't going to be anything like a race left. I mean, everybody's going to have a little bit of everybody in them.
It's going to be the human race, right?
Exactly. There won't be any, because all that kind of started. At least it seems to me that all that kind of started because back in the day when they traveled from one country to another country, people got used to seeing all of people from one country one way. Oh, well, they're all from here, so they look like this. They're all from there, they look like, and that was like an identifier. But now we can travel anywhere in a day.
That's when they started stereotyping. Okay,
Exactly.
this Chinese, they got this, and they have certain sayings in Chinese, or just like even with white people. Oh, all white people have good credit. That's not true. All black people are criminals. That's not true. All Asian people don't know how to drive. That's not true.
I haven't heard that one, but
All
there's all sorts of stereotypes out there that I haven't heard.
all Jamaicans got 3 and 4 jobs. I mean, I heard all of them for all kind of races. Just like saying all people from Siberia are you call it terrorists. See somebody
Oh,
from
you mean all people from the Middle East?
the Middle East, Siberia, all those little places over there. It could just be by the way they dress, and you can say, "Oh, that's a terrorist." You see a black person dressed in nice sneakers, little gold on, name brand clothes, pants hanging down. Oh, that's a gang member or a criminal.
Right.
So I believe sometimes the way a person carries herself predict what um, um, category that they're gonna put you in.
Right. So if you carry
It's
yourself
like
a certain way, then everybody's going to think, "Oh, that must be you."
so the way you carry yourself have a lot to do with it. Say if all the black people started wearing nice suits and driving nice cars and buying nice homes, would they be considered gang members? Would they be considered drug dealers? Would they be considered thugs? That's a
Very
question.
true.
Then you have noticed a lot of Asian people, they kind of do all of that. You got Asian people that dress up nice, got good jobs, and you also got Asian people that dress like the urban black person,
Yeah.
and they dance, rap. They got, I mean, it's a lot of people don't know. It's a lot of K-pop rap out there that they sound just like a black rap band
Right.
or a black artist.
Well, there's going to be a lot of
So
changes coming down the line.
to me, that's good because everybody can relate. Now, I know they also relate with black people being good in sports, but hey, it's a lot of good white people that play sports, a lot of good Puerto Rican people that play sports. So once everybody get it in their head that we all are one, then we can end racism because this racism that's going on now is nothing but hate. And this hate started, people say, okay, how far that go back? I can tell you that goes all the way back.
It went all the way back before it involved anything involving black people.
Yeah, I mean, that went all the way back to Cain and Abel
Yeah.
because that hate also comes from a type of envy. Before you hate a person, you gotta have some type of envy in your heart against them. Just like Cain had envy of his brother, and that envy turned to hate, and that hate was a type of racism. Well, it wasn't racism, but that was his brother.
But there was racism back then. I mean, didn't they have all the different types of, they had all the different types of peoples that were back there, but they were all still, well, they call it the entire, it wasn't called the Middle East back then, but it's all in that area because when you look at the Bible and all the different types of peoples and all the different types of wars they had, they couldn't identify each other right away just by what they looked like. It went by, well, how they dressed and what they did. I mean, you couldn't tell um, a Jewish
Yep.
person from a Palestinian. You couldn't tell one from another. It wasn't anything like that until
Well,
more and more. Even I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it also said that I guess Moors, when they talked about Moors in old times, weren't they referring to black people or Africans? Or am I mistaken? I'm not even certain on that.
you're on that one. But as you see, there was also a part in the Bible where I think it was Joseph or David. Might have been David. David put a scripture out there that says, "For I am black, and my brothers and my sisters hate me." So that hate started way back then, and this is way back in the Old Testament. And he says also that they made him go work on the fields, taking care of the crop and the cattle, doing all that stuff that update little progress that they had the slaves doing when America got started. So are we under that same bloodline? I believe so. Is it a curse? Yep, it is a curse because that curse started. Noah cursed one of his sons.
Noah did what with his sons?
He cursed one of his sons.
Really? This I didn't know about. Can you turn up your volume by any chance? Because you're really hard to hear for some reason.
That's because I'm using a mic. Now, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I just found out
So,
today that when you have a mic, you got to stand it up straight because the microphone listening piece is at the front of the thing. Something I didn't know.
this on some mics. This
Okay.
mic, it's more at the top. See?
Ah,
More at
okay.
the top.
Right.
Actually, I don't keep this on anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, so you look at even back how everything got spread out. I'm not gonna go back as far as Cain and Abel because once he killed his brother, he left. So you gotta know that hate that he had in his heart, he passed it on to his whole generation. So that hate was established already back then. And then when the flood came, Noah had 3 sons. One of his sons did something that was really disrespectful. So once his son was cursed, he left, and that hate started again. That hate was more like envious hate,
Right.
and throughout history, hate keeps popping up, keeps repeating itself, and it's still here. But man evolved with knowledge enough to understand that hate is not acceptable.
Correct.
So the people that still out there hating, especially for a race, is a sickness. It's no longer just a part of their living or thinking. It's now sickness. So we got to figure out, just like with any other sickness, a cure. So they want to put a lot of money and effort and find a cure for the coronavirus. They need to put money and effort in a cure for hatred.
But, if you take some babies and they're all different races, they're going to get along. They won't care what color they are. So it's part of how they're brought up. And that's kind of hard to go ahead and create a cure for how to
Well,
raise somebody because then it gets into, a person's rights. I mean, you have the right to raise your children the way you see fit. Other people have theirs.
well, that could be part of the problem.
You think they're taking away their rights and telling them how to raise it would be a salvation?
Not taking away their rights, but creating some new laws and put those laws in place.
I don't know. That's kind of cutting it close. I mean, when you take those laws and put them into place, and it stops you from doing what you feel is right as a parent. I'm not saying that it's something that's definitely wrong, but I'm just saying taking a choice away from
Well,
somebody that's kind of infringing on the rights. That's what the
well,
problem is.
we got to look at it like this. This is my house here. If
Right.
somebody don't abide by the rules in my house, they have to do what? Leave. You got
Correct.
the right. See, that's not taking away their rights. They got the right to leave now.
But
If you can't say United States put a law, no more racism. If you racist or get caught in any racial activity against somebody, you'll be charged. That would make people think twice.
well, I see what you're saying. I mean, you'd have to define what racism is down to its specs, but I see what you're trying to get at without going that far into defining it. But
Well, it
at the
depends.
same time, though, how do you stop from teaching your children You know,
But that's the thing. Like I said, nobody got control of how somebody gonna raise their child.
right,
If their mind is twisted and weak, they're gonna train their child mind to be twisted and weak. Now, some kids disagree with their parents, and they will go
right,
against their parents, and that's because their parents telling them one thing, but when they go to school, they're hearing something else. So I think the school is the middleman to it all, and the school should enforce that more than that's where it should start in school, because the parents gonna train the kids the way they feel they was raised, or if
right.
they was raised with hatred and racism in their household, their kids gonna have it. Then when they grow up, their kids gonna have it. How do you put an end to it? It have to be something in the middle to to fight against what their parents are telling them. So while they in the learning stage, that's the best stage to teach them the right thing. And that's where I see it.
School is a good way to teach them things. There's no doubt about that. Um, just trying to define what it is you're going to teach them, trying to define what's right and what's wrong. I mean, we are both adults. We both know what racism is. We've experienced seeing it. We understand what it is. But growing up, if kids don't know any better, don't experience, don't know it, their parents tell them one thing, the school tells them something else, and their friends, who most kids, including us growing up, just like kids do, we listen to our friends more than we listen to our parents. And that's what gets us into a lot of trouble. But,
Okay, but that could be an advantage though. It depends on if you're teaching your child racism, they go out and they meet different kids from different races and they become friends with these kids. It's going to conflict his home raising. But at this point, he got to make a decision, keep his friends that from all different um, nationalities, or listen to his parents that's one minded, narrow minded, ignorant, and sick. So kids do at one point in their life can make their own decision, even if it
right,
takes through all the way up to high school.
right, they're going to make their own decision on stuff.
If
So
they
you
could be
say maybe in time, over time, we
a
can get
little,
rid of it.
yeah, a little at a time, that's what's happening now. Look how
Yeah.
many. I mean, right now everybody is probably mixed with a little everything. So why should you hate? I seen a show once where this clan member was talking about black people so bad and how they shouldn't exist and blah blah blah, and they made him take a DNA test, and come to find out that he got a certain percentage of black in him.
Yeah.
So you know now, do you still feel the same way? You still hate black people even though that you got part black in you? Now,
Yeah, I see how you mean.
see, I raised my kids to treat everybody the same. Don't have no respectable person. Don't acknowledge just one race as being the race, and everything else is beneath you. I raised them to treat everybody the same. So that's why, I mean, I got my daughter as dating a white guy. She learned Japanese. She listened to K-pop, Korean music.
Okay.
She don't have no racism in her heart. Neither one of my daughters. Actually, none of them. My son have a lot of white friends. I have white friends. I dated white women. I mean, people are
Right.
people, and the quicker that people get that through their head, the better life we can have. I mean, even with you go like a black person might go try to get a home, and a white person might go try to get the same home. Eventually, they're gonna give that home to the white person before the black person. And the same goes with credit. Our credit rating is different than theirs. It shouldn't have to be
Yeah,
that way.
because they also go by what neighborhood. But when a lot of black people live together, and if the neighborhood isn't has more crime, and it just happens that there's black people living there, well, then bam, black people automatically get worse credit, and that's not right.
Well, see what that is.
I know it's true in car
You see,
insurance.
you see a lot of black people in the inner city, but that's all going to change. Do you notice they're doing a lot of developing in the city? You see how
Yeah.
they changed Genesee Street area and certain areas they doing like around Plymouth Avenue.
Uh huh.
Okay, a lot of Caucasians are coming back to the city. They have a plan to reclaim the city because it was once theirs. It was mostly Caucasians in the city. A lot
Right.
of the black people kind of lived in the outskirts, what they call suburbs. Back then, it was called country. So
But are they doing this
that's
just as a migration thing, or are they doing this intentionally to move black people out of the city?
that's part of the
Because a
plan.
lot of the stuff that they're changing things around to, the prices that they're putting things at,
That's why
a
they
lot
do
of black people can't afford that.
exactly.
So is
And
that being done intentionally, or is that just like
that's being done intentionally, and that's been in the makings for at least 30 years.
No,
I
I know. I used to live in an area that was,
Oh, you see what they did with Gateway, right? That's a good example right there.
Cornhill. I used to live over at when I lived in a Cornhill. It was this all black neighborhood, and you hardly ever saw anybody white there. Now
Yeah,
it's
no,
just totally flipped the script.
yeah, they took that, but you also missing Gateway. You lived in Gateway.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Now look at it, and look how much the rent is for those places they built.
That I don't even know because last time I heard they was trying to set it up for college students. So I don't know if they had special rent for college students or whether or not it was
No, it's well,
they changed and just decided to open it to the public.
it is. You can anybody can rent apartment there. The thing
Oh,
is, the rent is like $1,400.
holy cow!
See what I'm saying?
All right,
No,
I'm back.
Oh, there you
hey,
go.
Bruce is
Hey,
back.
we ain't seen you since last week,
Y'all seen the screen? Y'all see the
huh?
screen?
I see the screen. Yeah.
yeah, I see that. It's got all the
Who's ready?
previous weeks on there.
Said the view.
Okay. Were there any comments anywhere?
I'll try and get to them, but
Um. Oh, that was 2 months ago. Urban. Okay, that was
Yeah, I've seen this before. It has practically everything we've had.
Urban. Okay, the
And
iPhone
then the
one.
last one is live tonight, right?
Yeah, that's live. The iPhone one had 22 bureaus on that.
yeah, I'm up.
Okay,
I'm up.
Now,
but
was
this
that you going back and forth checking it out, Bruce?
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm about to stop this and move it down some so you can see the rest of it.
okay.
Okay.
But yeah, me and Mark been talking about um a post you put up with like racism and all that kind of thing. So you
Well,
probably have to.
actually, I wanted to play it to hear it.
The video
Yeah,
that you sent me.
yeah. That way we all can really comment on and hearing what you.
Well, that is a long video, though.
I know it's a long one, but we can skip through it. Some,
Okay, go ahead and
All right, go ahead.
bring some of it
If
up.
that'd be kind of cool. I see what you're talking about. Let the lady speak a little bit, and then we make comments on what she says and go through the video.
All right,
I'm down for that.
until I get this video going. All right.
All right.
Okay. calling my sister to see if she's there. She might have fell asleep or something.
Please leave your message for.
Well, I didn't leave a message. She'll probably call me back and go, Mark. Or I caught her at a bad time, one or the other. But yeah, I like what Bruce is going to try and do. He's going to try and do that, and then we can just analyze the video.
Yeah, we could do that.
Maybe we can go ahead and have do that with videos and suggestions, because that's why I was calling my sister, because I said to her, I said, if you have any ideas or anything you want us to talk about, let me know. But I haven't heard from her in a few hours, so I don't know if she fell asleep or whether or not she's doing something and don't feel like answering the phone. She gets into one of her television shows or a movie or something. So I'll try the other number for her. See if she answers that. Could be her phone's inside her purse and she can't even hear it ringing. So I'm trying the landline, see what happens there. No, she fell asleep. Nah, she's probably asleep. I'll let her sleep. I'll catch up with her tomorrow, because tomorrow she's got something she got to do tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'll be catching up with her because we go to visit her mom. So I'll be catching up with her and see how she's doing and ask her to go ahead and play everything back from tonight, and then she can go ahead and maybe leave some comments and give us some ideas that she might be interested in. Try and get feedback from everybody. At least I try to. Didn't always work that well. But you got to try, right, Corey?
That's right.
Looks like I got to try to have everything done by the time we start our broadcast. But I had so much stuff to do. I was actually at the laundromat just before I came here. And then I hadn't eaten, and I was going to get some food for everybody, so I had no choice. Had to grab the food and fly. Oh, my God.
So, like Bruce doing that, we was talking about kids and how they being brought up with this racial attitude.
Right.
And I believe little at a time, it's fading down. But there's always parents out there still teaching their kids this hate. And like I was saying, the school should be the middle man in this. If they see a child bringing that hate to school, they should cut it off right there. My daughter experienced some of that.
Really?
So yes, when we lived out in Macedon, and where one little child, my daughter, like I said, I don't teach them none of that stuff, and it really hurt her and confused her because she didn't know people was like that. So this little boy told her that she needed to go back to Africa. Now, where did he hear that from? He had to hear it from his parents.
But he couldn't even find Africa on a map.
And then
It was a little boy.
Then making comments like "you look like doo doo," and this had to been about he's probably in 5th grade.
So we're definitely talking in the 21st century.
we are. So,
And it's amazing because, we would experience stuff like that back when we was younger, or maybe when our parents was younger, but you wouldn't think it would carry to the 21st century, but here it is.
That's right. Here it is.
hear that ad?
What is it about?
Oh, thank you, sir.
But
Is that through your keyboard?
no, that's my sound card.
Wow.
I can even give us this.
Oh, there we go.
Little
We can hear
laughter.
you on
I think we got some sound effects now.
Nice.
We got
Well, I might have to contact you when I get ready to do some voiceovers. Speaking of
Okay.
which, have you heard from Pastor Taylor?
what's that?
Have you heard from Pastor Taylor? What has he said about the church and doing stuff?
I don't know. I was supposed to talk to him, but I don't know what happened.
Okay.
He not answering my phone call, so no, he
Oh,
got it
there's-
up there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. You back on? Oh, there you go. All right, you in control.
Hold on for a second.
But let me talk about how a black woman got to white rage.
Yeah. You
And
have to back it up because you got to
Looks like
define this white rage thing.
actually, it began in February 1999 when a black man
What you say, Mark?
came home from a hard day's
She's talking
work.
about something she refers to as
And
white
He
rage.
went home, got into his
And
apartment,
I don't
realized there
think
was no
anybody understands what that is unless if they just jump in right
work
there.
hard, you look in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator's looking back at you. And there's that moment where he's like, oh, but he's
What's
in
that?
New York. And New York, the city that
Now, you
never
want me to
sleeps.
rewind
So
it
you know
back,
there's
or
going to be
what you want
food
me to do?
available. So he goes
You might have to
outside.
start it from the beginning. So, because she
You
was
know,
mentioning
the-
white rage, and I mean, the people are going to be like, "What's that about?"
4 officers of the NYPD hop out.
Well, she probably gonna
All right, here.
explain that.
Well, I mean, it's just only fair to her, and she's explaining it. So,
First, let me just say thank you. It is so wonderful having you here today. It is wonderful being honored with the John F. Morgan Senior Distinguished Faculty Lecturer.
Yeah.
And it is wonderful to be at Emory.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to talk about white rage. And I know it sounds crazy, but let me talk about how a black woman got to white rage.
because I still don't
And
even understand what she means
although
by
it
white
looks
rage.
like
But
it began with Ferguson, actually it began in February 1999 when a black man came home from a hard day's work. And he went home, got into his apartment, and realized there was no food. You know that when you come home, you worked hard, you look in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator's looking back at you. And there's that moment where he's like, oh, but he's in New York. And New York, the city that never sleeps. So there's going to be food available. So he goes outside, he steps on his apartment, the porch, and a car rolls up. 4 officers of the NYPD hop out, guns drawn. 41 bullets later, Amadou Diallo goes down. 19 of those bullets hit. Amadou Diallo was unarmed. He had committed no crime. There was no warrant out for his arrest. He was just a black man in the Bronx. Now, that is bad enough. But then I'm watching Ted Koppel's Nightline, and Mayor Rudy Giuliani is on. And Giuliani is just unrepentant. And Ted Koppel, as you know, is not a softball interviewer. And he is on Giuliani. He's like, Amadou. And Rudy's like,
Hey,
what?
pause for a second, Bruce.
He barely says the man's name. What he does.
All right.
Now, she mentioned about Amadou, and I mentioned about what happened. Now, I've never heard about that case. I'm not saying that it didn't happen or anything like that, but I would be interested in hearing what the police's response was as far as what they gave as a reason as to why that happened. You know, I mean, I don't think there's any real reason that's going to explain it to anybody's satisfaction, because it doesn't sound like it. I mean, that's incredible to drive up and do. I mean, like, I'd like to know who was it that called the cops? Why did they even bother with them? What was, I mean, that just, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there I'd like to know so I could know the
Well,
whole story.
well, see, let me take a little of this echo out. So I'm thinking that part really doesn't matter, because the question is, would they have done that if he was white?
Well, to me, the question is, I
Because,
mean,
hold on.
that's a point. That is a
Yeah.
point.
Okay, let me finish. Because there also been situations where a white guy had a gun and was shooting at them, but they still did not shoot him, and definitely
Right.
not with that amount of bullets.
Right. That's why, you know, I like to know, just so I can understand everything and go, okay, it makes sense now, you know, and all else, and I get it. But I'm just one of those people that I just hate having holes in the story, no matter which side is telling it. Like, I'd like to know what's their reason for even being there. Period.
Okay, that's just a bunch of paperwork that they can make sound the way they want it to sound. Okay,
Right. But
the point
there's no
still
paperwork that's going to
remains.
make it sound right.
The point still remains. They shot an unarmed man
Yes,
that
that
did
is
not
very
have no
true.
warrants or wanted by the police.
That's very true.
Did somebody call and say somebody broke in a house? No, he was in his own home.
Exactly. That's why I'm wondering. I mean, that's why I'm real curious as to why this didn't, as they say, hit the fan and start people getting excited and going crazy. I mean, you would think that, you know, that somebody would be flipping out over that. There'd be protests. There'd be a lot of stuff happening because of it. But if there was, I've never heard of it. And apparently, this is something that happened a long time ago.
Let's see if she get to that point. Let's see.
All right, let's go ahead.
Let's say my policies are working. New York City is safer now than it has been in years. And he pulls out his little flip charts with the little graph showing crime going down. My policies are working. New York City is safer. And I'm thinking, it's not safer for Amadou. Safer for whom? And the policies that he's talking about, it's the broken windows policing policy. That broken windows policing policy basically hyper polices Black and brown neighborhoods, criminalizing Black people, criminalizing brown people. You jaywalk, the cops are on you. Drop some litter on the ground, cops are on you. You're standing, cops are on you. You're walking, cops are on you. You are getting ready to step off the curb, cops are on you. That hyper policing is the policy that Mayor Rudy Giuliani said was working. And while he talked about it, he said, and my police force is the most restrained and best behaved in the United States. I'm in Kafka land right now. You know, where Gregor Samsa is this big cockroach, but everybody's acting like it's normal, right? You know, because I'm thinking most restrained and best behaved don't fire 41 bullets at an unarmed man. I know something is wrong, but I don't know how to name it. And you know, we have to name things in order to be able to face them, to be able to deal with them. And so I don't know what to call this thing. And I'm just going, oh. But as a scholar, I keep writing, I keep researching, I keep thinking, I keep teaching, I keep writing, I keep researching, I keep thinking. And then in August 2014, I'm in my home.
All right, what y'all think?
Well, she made some very good points.
Something is
thing-
definitely wrong. You
the
just put
thing-
41 bullets into an unarmed black man.
Yeah, the thing is, people got to realize the police, I believe in some form, they train to treat minorities different. Because if you go all the way back, even back towards slavery time, that's when the police kind of started. They used to call them slave catchers, or
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might. I mean, they didn't really use the term bounty hunters, but no, slave catchers, and these people was organized like a police department that went out and brought back runaway slaves. Not only did they bring back runaway slaves, they chastised the slaves that was on that property. If a slave master can't control his slave, they would call these police in to do certain things to them, beat them, chain them
Whip
up,
'em, chain
hang
'em,
them.
tar and feather 'em.
They did all those things. And these are the police at that time.
Yep.
What I also
They-
wonder is how many black people are on the police department in the Bronx, since it's a primarily
Okay,
a black neighborhood, right?
that brings my next question. Even back then, they had black people to help control black people. And that's why they got black people on the police force and whatnot. They put a black person, okay, here, you control your people, but I'm still pulling the strings. If I tell
Right.
you to do this to them, you got to do that.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
So,
because it's the law.
right. And
Yeah.
back then, when you see a black person on a plantation working, they give the black person a whip and tell them to whip them.
Yep.
So the black man always, well, some, or should I say a particular type of black man always ran with the police, even back then.
Right.
So are they racist? Or now you look at the black police, if you there and you see this happening, do you say something? They had a movie out like that where this black officer. Well, I'll give you an example of another movie. Y'all ever seen Tales from the Hood?
Yeah.
Actually,
one
I
of-
haven't.
Okay, on one of the shows they show this black congressman where these two white officers. It was two white officers. No, it was three white officers and a black officer, and they killed him and tried to bury it under the rug. And they threatened the black one to not say nothing. So years down the line, he ended up saying something because the person that they killed came back as a ghost or whatnot,
Right.
and was torturing his mind to tell him the truth. So anyway, make this short. He had him go to the cemetery, and the guy came back and he got revenge on all the officers. But the fact is, this one black officer could have told what happened that night.
Right.
It shouldn't have to have waited. So the bottom line is, whatever going on with these police, it's embedded in them. And the only way to change that is to change some of them laws.
A lot more than some.
But even if you change the laws, you can't change the heart. The heart, they're gonna still have that hate in their heart.
Yeah.
So if they end up have to lose their job, that's just gonna increase their hate, and they're gonna still go out and try to hurt or kill minorities.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So the only way around that is like what me and Mark was talking about earlier. You gotta stop this from why they kids. whatever their parents been teaching them, and they go to school, the schools need to teach them the opposite and let them know that that type of attitude cannot be allowed.
Judge people by their actions, not their skin color.
Right.
Right. And for a school to let this happen more than once, then that school should be accounted for.
Right.
Say, oh, if your child comes to school and they make racial remark or they try to jump on a black person, they should be kicked out of school indefinitely.
Yeah, but you know, at the
If
same
somebody
time,
on a
that would
police
work for any race. I feel.
well, racism, period. I mean,
Right.
even with the police force, if it's a police on a police force show a little bit of racism, he should be fired. No questions asked. But a lot of these police that do this, they don't fire them. They suspend them with pay. What's that? That's a vacation,
Yeah.
a paid vacation. Or I read articles where they just take the police and send them to another police department somewhere else instead of firing. So as long as they have these things where they can get away with it, they're going to keep on doing it.
Yes, they
America,
will.
America just went through a whole thing with the George Floyd situation, and it's still going on.
Yeah.
I seen news clippings where they still put their knees into a man's neck. I see clippings where news clippings where a white person that does the same thing do not get treated the same way. That's the point. Everybody need to be treated equally and fair, regardless
Right.
of your race, your religion, your color, your belief, the way you dress, and we do that a lot. We judge a person by the way they dress all the time.
Yeah.
I'm even guilty of that sometimes. I mean, because sometimes I have to admit when I see a Muslim with all their clothing on, my mind might say, "Oh, is that a terrorist?" See, now I learned not to do that because now my daughter, like I told you about my daughter, I didn't raise my kids to have no hate.
Right.
She have a friend that's from what is that place?
Afghanistan.
Yeah, and her mother moved up here because her father, you know how the fathers treat their wives.
Yeah.
So they wanted to get away, so they came here, and they lived out this area. And the people, even the people in the neighborhood they moved in, threatened. Eventually, somebody burnt down their house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I had the girl over to our house. She, they have the thing over their heads and stuff. That's how they do it. That's
Yeah.
how they dress.
Well,
What I've come to understand, though, Corey, is
But hold on.
those organizations, those terrorist organizations, just use Muslim as their code, their excuse to be who they are. Just
Right.
like the Klan claims to be Christian, but the stuff they do is not Christian.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
So like I brought the girl over to the house, and this girl is the most nicest, respectful young lady I ever seen in my life, and that made me change
Yeah.
that thought of thinking those type of people have to be a certain type of way
So
because
they
it
can
ain't
have a perspective of them, basically.
exactly a close up perspective. I mean, the girl would ask, "Do I need anything done? I need help with anything?" She was real respectful. And I felt really bad when their house got burnt down, so they had to move somewhere else. I mean,
That's terrible.
people
Yeah, it
shouldn't
is.
people shouldn't treat people like that because of no circumstances.
And I think for us people, of all of us, we should be even thinking like the other people. Anyway.
Right. Like I was telling Mark earlier, people might like have different thoughts on of a white person. Oh, they must have good credit. Ain't always true. Black person must be a criminal. Not always true. Chinese people, remember the thing used to say how Chinese people couldn't drive? Not true. See,
I always heard the
it's a
thing about how Chinese people have laundromats and you know that sort of thing.
Well, that's another one. All Chinese women do nails. Get your nails done at a Chinese.
Yeah, I hear that.
Even though 9 times out of 10 it's true, but that's not no reason to take a whole
A wide brush from
brush and say everybody like that.
right.
That's stereotype.
Exactly.
Get rid of all the stereotypes
Yeah. Sure.
because
But I tell you what, though, TV, movies, it ain't helping because
Oh,
the way a movie works, all
That's the way they
movies,
boost it.
the characters are all
That's the way
based
they
on
boost it.
stereotypes.
That's how they boost it.
That's their programming mechanism for our brain to proceed.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
think we watching a movie, but we actually being programmed to
Exactly.
think a certain way. And like I told Mark earlier, that only can get to people that's weak-minded.
True.
And I
Well,
believe that
I believe 50% of that.
well, I believe that all these people that's racist, it's no longer a thing to me. It's a sickness, like I told Mark.
It is a sickness.
And with a sickness, this country need to find a cure for it. Never mind finding a cure for corona. Corona is out there because of the hatred. God allowed this plague to hit because of the hatred we have among each other. And I believe if we show more love towards each other, the corona can be gone. And a lot of other things out there can be gone.
Well, you know
See,
what?
because
I'll be honest with you. I think the corona's around not because of hate, but because of greed.
I'm about to say,
But neither it's the same thing though.
well, it's still one of the deadly sins.
Exactly.
So long as them deadly sins out there hitting hatred, greed, you know, what they say, 7 deadly sins.
Yep.
But basically, if people, it's one cure for all of that. It's for people to start loving one another.
Yeah. Well,
I talk about this a lot. I put a lot of this in my songs, but people just, what is it? And it's not just racial hate. Some people hate you because of where you live.
what's one of your songs you want to play? I'll play it.
Some people hate you because of where you live. Some people hate you because of what's going on.
Can I tell you a quick little? I'll make it very short.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to show you something that I was talking about with Corey earlier. Long time ago, I used to play the lottery. I still play the lottery now and again.
Yeah.
Long time ago, I won some money in the lottery.
Oh, you did?
It wasn't any life changing amount, but
You tell us, Corey.
I know.
it was like a few $1,000s. So I was like, okay, I won some money in the lottery. Ooh, I'm really happy. Well, I went and I talked to somebody I knew from work, and I said, hey, yeah, I won the lottery. Now, this person that I was talking to, he had emotional and mental instabilities. He's a real nice guy. I was friends with him sort of and knew him from work and everything. So he was really great. But the point that I'm making here, his first initial reaction was he immediately got red-faced, started tearing up, and ran away and said, why can't I win? Why can't I win? Now, the point that I'm trying to make here is that this was a response that just took over him. His brain just said, hey, why can't that happen to me? And it's not anything that was pre-programmed or anything. And I think there's a lot of racism stuff and jealousies out there, whether it be financial or racial or what have you. I think there's a lot of that's out there that your brain just goes into that mode, but you got to find a way to circumvent it when it occurs. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just natural. Maybe we just raised that way. I don't know. Maybe it's, maybe that's just part of the human body, the human mind, to think like that under certain circumstances. But I just wanted to point that out so that you wouldn't think that everything is all intentional or that everything, happens, for by somebody. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Okay. But I understand what you're saying, but still, I stand strong on what I'm saying
right?
about the love and the hate. The bottom line, by the end of the day, that's all it's about.
Right.
Love or hate, negative or positive, God, Lucifer. It's only two sides.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
there is a
all
third side, but you don't want to be on that side.
okay. Well,
That's the middle, and the middle ain't no place to be because you just get burned, just like the
just
just
like
like Lucifer side.
the middle one should always be neutral, and that
What
middle
was
one,
that,
and
Bruce?
that middle one neutral, but that middle one also you.
That's just as bad.
The middle ground is hot as the other side, the dark side of ground.
So, what's the middle side? Aliens?
No. My theory
You do
is
have a third option. You can go up there with the aliens.
my theory is the aliens already been through everything we've been through, but they failed. But rather than exterminate them, God abolished them to other parts of the galaxy, and now
Okay.
He's giving us a try,
All right. I'll
a
tell you
chance, I
what.
should say.
All
That's
right.
my theory.
Okay. That theory, hold on to it because next Monday, we're going to get back on that subject.
Oh God.
I might even have somebody. I might even have somebody join us on that.
Oh, all right. That'll be good.
And Martin, if you got a video, let me know. So I can
Yep.
have,
If you got any videos, got to give them to Bruce.
All right. I can do that. I don't think I'll have any videos, but
You
if
could do.
I
You can research.
or you got, if you got any like a paper or something you want to, like a paper or whatever, like what do you call it?
documents, files.
Documents and stuff like that. Yeah.
Whatever you got, look into your X files.
All right. I'll look into my X files.
Yep. Well, you gotta give it to me kind of early so I got cue it, have it in.
And you want it on the subject that we just talked about, aliens and where they're from.
Okay.
I guess in relation to God.
However you do it, it'll be talked about. So,
All right. I'll see what I can find out about that.
all right. So, as we talking about with the racism thing, yeah. Look at my file, Bruce, and bring up the song. Let them know.
All right, y'all keep on talking. I'm gonna cue and get out of there for a minute.
All right.
Oh, you got a song, do you? All
Yeah.
right.
I have hundreds of songs, man. I'm talking about.
Wow. This must be a really good one that you wanted to go ahead and put on the air.
All of them on the air. I got a YouTube channel with over 100 songs on there.
Oh,
From my first song to my last song. And I counted them up. It's pretty much close to 100 now.
and these are all fresh White Rock creations, pure and simple.
Original.
Okay.
Maybe
Now-
one or two I might have sung from a favorite song that I like or something, but
That's fine. Those are fine. I just wanted to know. But I didn't know you did all that.
yeah. I think
I
I've
see
had
some
my
things on
YouTube-
Facebook from
Yeah.
time to time.
Yeah, you see them, but you don't respond. That's what I understand. You're supposed to be my brother. You're supposed to have my back. But you see my face up there and scroll on by.
Well, because sometimes I thought you was just sort of lip syncing, having fun. And I'm like, okay, he's lip syncing, having fun. It's all good. And, sometimes I listen to it, sometimes I don't.
Well, they
But
all
I don't have
original.
really comments. You just have, to me, it looks like you just having fun.
Yeah, having fun with making original songs. And let me see if I can.
Yeah,
change
but I
my-
don't even know if they're original or not
I can-
because I don't know all the songs.
Yep,
So-
they are original. Hello?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Trying to say, okay, there we go. Yeah, they are original. Yeah,
Original
but
Fresh White Rock Creations.
why rock?
Oh,
See, we got sound effects now. I can sound any way I want. Watch this.
Hello? Well, yeah, I like to say something. Everybody got their own situations right now. We just can't let it go.
you go, Chipmunk. You go. Alvin.
Hey, how you doing there, sir? I can sound Caucasian.
Not.
That's what it says. It says white male. Yep, that's what it says. I'm a white male now.
All right, do one that sounds like Donald Trump. There we go.
Säger bara, it's just all fake news. It's supposed to like get to him. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. President.
Electro, everything. Hey, hey, hey.
I see you got enough sound effects there.
It's all good. Now let me go back to my regular mode.
Now, how did you get that?
Hello? Yeah.
Oh, Bruce is back.
Hey,
Corey, which one is it?
let them know. The one with the cowboy hat on. Hey, Bruce. Oh, he gone again.
He got his information and scooted. See, that's what I mean with the cowboy hat on. I like you just having fun, making silly, stuff and just having
Yeah.
fun with it.
Some of them, yep. I try to be a little funny, put wigs on, and
Yeah, I saw that too. So I was like, oh, there he goes again. And I listened to a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, okay. But most of the time, I don't listen to Facebook stuff like that.
all in all, each song have a message that people need to hear.
Okay.
So if they can overlook the horrible sound of my voice and listen to the words,
So you think you have a horrible voice?
yeah. When it comes to singing, see,
Well, I'll tell you, Corey. I don't think you have a horrible voice. I think that you just gotta breathe different for your singing. That's it.
yeah, right.
You know?
I gotta learn breathing techniques. Too.
Yeah, I think that's about it. But you got a really good microphone voice. You got a really good singing voice for certain songs. But when you change your breathing technique, I think it'll change for you.
Clear over the rainbow.
Now, my voice ain't good for singing. It's barely good for the microphone, but it definitely ain't good for singing.
Well, this sound box that I got, okay, why you got me on monitor? Hello? Check. No, that ain't it.
Check.
Hello?
1, 2.
Check.
Hello.
Okay, now I'm back. So this sound bar, it also, if you're on the wrong key or note, it can put you on the right note. But it give you a electrical sound, sort of like T-Pain, because T-Pain can't sing worth 2 pennies.
Yeah.
But with the right equipment, they made him a millionaire.
Yeah, true. But let me ask you this much.
And I'm looking at here, a millionaire. He can't sing. And all you got to do is come up with a concept, as they say, a hitch that'll make something a hook. I'm sorry, a hook.
A hook.
A hook is something that somebody hear that they can remember.
Right.
Like he got a song. I'm in love with a stripper.
He's got a song like that?
So you haven't heard T-Pain songs?
No.
Oh boy.
Remember, I usually listen to rock and roll most of the time, and if it's not rock and roll, once in a while I like a little bit of rap.
Let them know, Bruce. You're on the wrong one.
But right now I'm really liking Eminem. That's
Eminem.
Eminem. I really like Eminem right now.
Okay.
But I like other stuff too. I go by moods. If I'm in the mood for it, it's okay.
Hey, I heard
But
some of his stuff.
well, there's this one song that he has called "I'm Afraid." I'm not afraid. Have you ever heard that song?
Nope. Hold on. What Bruce is typing something? How do
Oh,
I?
you say let them know.
Yes. Do I push enter? I don't even know if he got it. Oh, yes, up there.
But I was gonna say, Corey, about the breathing stuff. You remember how we said to do for kung fu?
Yeah.
How you breathe in and out on certain movements. It's somewhat of the same kind of thing when you go to sing.
Yeah, it
Like,
is. I know.
but you gotta take it all in and then breathe it out as you're singing it, and then take it all in and then breathe out as you're saying it.
I understand that concept.
It's hard to
Yeah,
do.
breathing from your diaphragm and let it out.
Yeah, but you're letting it out as you're saying each word and using only the air that's coming out of your mouth.
I understand that concept. Okay, Bruce.
Check out some Nat King Cole, and you'll hear how he does it, and because I think you could sing some really good Nat King Cole. I know you could sing that.
Yeah. Okay, Bruce. I don't hear it.
I see it, but I can't hear it. I can't sing at all. I just took a Hall's eucalyptus because I am real nasally right now because I got congestion in my nose. But yeah, breathe in through the nose and the mouth and breathe out through the mouth as you say each word. Let the words ride on the air as you're exhaling. Interesting little dance you're doing there. Now, if you had some music with that,
Yeah, because he's working on something. Look like.
he'll get it. He's our tech man. He knows his stuff. Pinch myself. He knows what he's doing.
Da, 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 da.
Do you have
Do, 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 do.
Can
It's
you
a
see these
cordless mic.
symbols on the back of my microphone?
Oh, yeah. I see a volume or something.
Well, one is for the gain, the top one. The bottom one is for the different types of sound that come through.
Okay.
And the
So
one that it's on now, if you got that same symbol somewhere in your microphone or your computer, put it on that because it's better for the singing voice and podcasts. I think that's the right one for singing. I know it's the right one for
Yeah.
podcasts. So
Yeah. This got all kind of volumes on it, but
Something that's been troubling me lately.
oh, now he got it.
So now I see I had to do something to you before it's going to me.
You hear it? You hear it?
Yeah, I
I
hear
can
it.
hear it.
You gave me all that I need. You made my life complete. I don't need to worry. I don't need to wear from.
And I took some of that old 70s school style.
People keep telling me that I have no need to believe everything that they this is for classics. So tell me, Lord, what can I do? I don't know.
The effect you're using for that voice thing, to do that with your voice,
Yeah.
you need to tone it down a little bit and use it on certain parts of the song, and then have it not in certain parts of the song. It'll make it more. I don't know. It'll make it seem more. I don't know how to describe it.
That's that when it comes down, I need somebody on the studio to make the adjustments when it's supposed to be made. But if I take my time, I can do it. But on this song, I had to use that higher pitch because when I changed on my machine, when I changed the pitch, it has static in it for some reason. I don't know. It's something I got from Wishlist, so I can't complain.
You got it. It at least turns on when you plug it in. You don't complain from there.
I got this mic from Wishlist for $15.
Nice. No, that's a singing microphone. You got to get you and Bruce regular podcast microphones.
And well, I would suggest Corey singing your natural voice.
You got to turn it down a
Can't
little
hear
bit,
you.
voice. Yeah, Bruce, you got to turn it down a little bit. It's hard to hear you.
I said one cut you should do it in one of your natural voice. And have kind of like sing that on top of that. You know what I mean? Kind of like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yep, I've been working on that.
I thought Pastor Taylor was supposed to be helping you with it too, but like you said, you haven't heard from him.
What I'm saying is a natural voice, you put reverb on it. Not a whole lot of reverb. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got work. That's why I need a person that can work on all that. Right now, all these songs, it's like I'm experimenting with different things. So, like this, I got this mic up to it now. You can see how I can go, hey, hello. I put reverb in there. I can even give us this.
Oh, Bruce gave us a whole screen full of stuff. So what were the lyrics that you were singing? Because I only can understand some of them because of the way in which you orchestrated the voice.
Let me take this back out. Well, from that point of view, the way it was going on, it sound when I play it in these headphones,
Yeah.
it's totally different. And one reason is because when I record it, I get a Bluetooth speaker and I hook it up to, well, my laptop. And like when I did it in the basement, it automatically echoes hitting walls and ceilings and everything.
Right.
So if I could find a way to record it, you know, with a wire that goes right to it to bring the sound out instead of having the sound bouncing all over the place, that gives it more.
Are you in the closet right now?
In an office.
Well, I'm in a closet. I'm in a walk-in closet.
If I close the door, I'll probably be like this.
Right, because it used to be a closet or something, a closet space.
Yeah, basically it was a little closet.
Those are the best ones to dampen the sound. And like what you got to do is like what I got here. I haven't put them up yet because I'm not sure. I'm going to have a guy go over it with me later on this week. And there's a way to dampen the sound, and there's foam things that you can put up around in the closet space you're in, and then that'll do most of that sound that you're talking about. Instead of that wire, it'll do most of it right then and there because it'll stop it from vibrating and bouncing around the way you're talking about.
I understand, but see, I put bass in it. Say, if you close your closet and you put a Bluetooth with a lot of bass in it, you're gonna get a lot of vibration from your window.
Right, but when you take all the walls,
That's why studios they put the wall padding up,
Right.
the
But
soundproofing.
right, but you can, as long as you cover up the hard objects. Remember how you used to have your van? You had carpet all over the
That's what
place.
I'm saying. It was
Do
installation.
that to that room. Do that to the room you're in right now. Your wife might kill you, but it'd be worth it.
No, this her office, and this is too small. If I stand up in here, I won't have no room for do anything. So, I'm just gonna
Well,
find a.
it's good for a podcast because it helps with
Oh yeah,
everything. But
because I'm like where I'm sitting at. I'm sitting halfway out the closet.
right. Well, you guys already know you already saw the whole place as it was right here for what I'm in.
Yep. See, like,
I got the doors. I got the doors closed, and I got the
imagine if
windows stuff back
I
there.
close this door,
Hello to Mr. Clown. Hi, Mr. Clown.
I might have about 1 feet of room in here.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, part of it could be that. Part of it could be the sound card I got. It's a cheaper version. Like I said, it only costs $16.
Okay.
Now, once I upgrade my equipment, that'll give me a better sound too. So they have some soundboards that do a whole lot. I went to Sound Source. They have a mixing board that comes with a auto tuner, but they want like $1,200 for it. So understand the difference of the sound between $1,200 and $16.
Right. The $16 is much better
Yeah,
for your wallet.
yeah, for my wallet, especially when I'm not getting paid to do it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and a $15 mic, chain that in and get like $150 mic.
Right.
It's all in the studio equipment. People don't realize it. Most of these singers out here, like I've been listening to some of this rap nowadays.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense.
Oh yeah.
Only positive thing they got a studio that got good equipment.
And then they have a producer, a production manager who tightens it up for them.
And when they on it, they have somebody actually sitting down, adjusting each sound the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
See, I'm a one-man band. I'm doing everything.
Because one of the things I've had to learn, and I'm sure I don't know if I told you and I mentioned it to you, Bruce, but one of the things I'm learning because I'm learning how to do voiceovers is you got to go to like Audacity, and I have to learn to take all the breathing out of every recording, so that when I make a recording for somebody, I know how to take those sounds out. So like you won't hear the and anything that's said. And if you listen to commercials, that's not there.
That screen right there is supposed to do that.
No, that only takes out that's called a pop filter. That only takes out the psst and the
Pop, pop, pop.
And also take out your breath breathing, because I have one of those in the basement, and even with this little thing here, like you can hear that.
Yeah.
But with this on,
Put one of those on top of that.
you don't hear it.
No.
Yeah, you could put one of these on top of your thing too.
Try that, Mark. Let's see what happens.
I don't know if I'm going to try that because it's a different type of thing for a different type of sound.
The Audacity, it has a effect. If you go into the effect, it's a lot of things that it does that can help you with that too.
Yeah, it's called a DS or something like that.
The other thing too is the type of microphone that you have to use for the type of broadcast that you want for a production sound quality that they say that you're going to need for like doing a commercial and everything. Yeah. It has a gain that's so strong that you can pick up things that are happening next door. Well, you remember, Bruce, when you had it, he was picking up stuff out like you was standing right next to it.
You know what they call a delimiter.
A whatter?
A delimiter. It's on the Audacity. Stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That stuff.
Yep, they got all kind of stuff on there. But like this little thing here, like if you're doing welcome to a word of action, put little stuff like that in it. Or, hey,
Yeah, but you're talking about.
He's always having fun with that. He likes doing that
I
to
mean,
him.
but I don't.
All right, Corey. All right.
Time to close the broadcast.
Settle him down, Bruce. Settle him down. Oh, okay.
Okay. But this is a cheap version of this.
Behind the
I'm gonna
scene.
get a better version. And
Behind the scene.
did I seen a ghost go by?
No.
Oh,
No,
whatever
that
it was.
was at my house.
It was moving pretty fast. It must be time for you to get off now.
Yep. Here we go, guys.
Yeah, what time is it? It's 11:09. Do you guys
Oh.
realize that I missed an entire hour of the X-Files?
Wow.
Do you realize that you can record it or play it later?
Oh, I don't need to do that. I already seen it, but I missed seeing it again. See that?
All right, you go rewind that and watch it. So because we want some information by next Monday. We
I'm the
want
only
you.
one that's got to get information now. Okay.
You're gonna prove to us that aliens are out there.
I got to prove to you that
No,
aliens
to
are out
us.
there.
To us.
To you
Yep.
and Bruce.
To everybody that's gonna be listening.
That aliens are out there.
Yeah.
Really?
Really.
Really? You guys don't see all the proof around you? You guys haven't heard of all the proof?
We'll bring all that up on Monday at 9:00.
Well, we'll just start with something really basic and simple. How the government just went ahead and came forth and said, yeah, they exist. I pretty much consider that proof.
The reality is that the government are the aliens. Oh,
probably.
Hold up. I'll take that back. They're going to end our broadcast now.
You better make up with them.
All right.
They're going to be like, hey, I found out. They know now. We must get them.
We must get them.
We must get them.
All right. Good night, everybody. I just ended the broadcast.
Oh, he gone, huh?
Yeah. I guess he said I'm out too. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Something else in trouble and they like that. But now I'm saying, all I had to do was come to you before I was going to me. Just let me fall in my feet. You made my life complete.